Good morning, everyone. Good evening. Today is the 11th of February, and we are talking about Valentine's Day and the oils for love. So for those of you who love Valentine's Day, come sit by me because that's my favorite holiday. And even if you don't love Valentine's Day, you feel grumpy about it, or you're feeling like, oh, I don't have a Valentine, get out of there and love somebody, love on somebody else, and you'll see how wonderful you feel and how fast. And if you're not a Valentine's Day lover, then there's lots of other ways that you can show love throughout the year for people that are around you and that you want to make happy. And I think this may be some of the ways. I go out and talk to doctors quite a bit, and I find that it's interesting. I used to think that doctors all had individual problems or their patients had different sorts of problems because they had different sorts of specialties. So a heart doctor, obviously, a cardiologist deals with the heart, and a podiatrist deals with the feet, and the orthopedic surgeon with the bones. Now, if you are a devotee of traditional Chinese medicine or TCM, you know that this is a crazy fallacy, that the whole body obviously is completely connected and that really everything affects everything else. But here in the United States, we try to separate the body up into little pieces, which is kind of goofy, but that's what we do here. Anyway, how does this pertain to Valentine's Day? Well, when I would go into doctors' offices, I would find that every single solitary one of them would tell me about four main problems. So one was sleep, anxiety and depression, pain, people always having pains. And the fourth one was, interestingly enough, libido, that a lot of people were having issues with their love life and not being able to be intimate. And so I'm hoping that today's presentation, in a nice, clean way, because I know sometimes we have children on this presentation, will allow you to address some of those issues, to maybe help someone that you love, or help yourself, or just cheer yourself up a little bit. So let's get started, and I'll tell you about my present, and let me share my presentation with you. Okay, shrink myself up here. Oops. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I would hard to imagine that after all these years you haven't met me, but soon, if you haven't met me in person, you're going to, because I'm coming back. My name is Elena Jordan. I live in the United States in New Jersey, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of you really soon. I want to say thank you to our Presidential Diamond team. You give, and give, and that's the spirit of Valentine's Day. And you have given to me in so many different ways, and for that I'm eternally grateful. You go around showing the love all the time, and really loving on people and giving to them is the surest fire way to have a happy life. And I think that this team, hands down, has shown so much love. And I just have so much admiration for each and every one of you. So thank you for walking this journey with me. Many of the ideas that are expressed in this presentation come from the book, Essential Oils, Healthcare for Today. It is a beginner's guide, and it highlights the top 50 health issues from A to Z. It is fondly known as the LRP book, because it does help you with issues or ways that you can purchase oils or develop a protocol for yourself depending on what types of health issues you are currently addressing. I want to say Happy New Year to everyone who's still celebrating. I know a few of you are still celebrating. May this year smile upon you, gifting you with good fortune and 12 months of unlimited prosperity. So blessings to you in the new year, the year of the pig. For those of you who don't know, some of you missed my presentation last week. I'm actually a tiger. I know, tiger woman, very bad, very bad. And I'm actually married to a tiger man. And I know the expression, two tigers cannot be on one mountain, but it works for us. And we've been together almost 30 years. I know we met when we were very young, which is kind of fun. And he is definitely the chief tiger on our mountain, and I am the number 2, and that's why it works. So everybody has their own, I guess, their own mountain that they live on, and for us, that's the way we are. But why does that pertain to me? Because the pig is my secret friend. So I love the little pigs, and I'm wearing a little pig, at least for the next couple of weeks, because he's my secret friend. Okay, So today we're going to talk about loving on yourself with doTERRA essential oils. You want to love on yourself. So if you would be my Valentine and you want to think that even if someone doesn't send you flowers, send yourself flowers. Go out and buy a nice bouquet for yourself, stick them in the middle of your room so that you can see them day and night when you're passing them. Buy yourself a plant that has some red flowers on it. Don't be sitting at home moping. It doesn't pay. It really doesn't. So last night I went out. We have a local chain grocery store. It's very tiny, actually. It's more like a specialty store called Trader Joe's. And they often have specials on different sorts of flowers and plants. And they had red tulips and little red plants in cups. And I picked up a couple of them that I'm going to start giving out this week. And if you were nearby, I would make sure that you were getting something from me. But yes, absolutely. Get yourself some flowers. Get somebody you love some flowers. Get an elderly person some flowers, especially if their love is gone. So make sure you're showing a love at least this week. Okay, number 1, bergamot, the oil of self-love. I am enough. I am so enough. It's incredible how enough I am. You just want to make sure that when you're using your bergamot, it's to revive you and cheer you. Part of the reason why we use some of these oils is that we want to make sure that our energy, our focus, our emotions are all in balance. And bergamot, and as you know, I always start this presentation with a picture of that lumpy green fruit that I really love the smell of. Green is my favorite color, as some of you have been with me for a while know that. But bergamot, absolutely the oil of self-love. So if you're having difficulty loving yourself, a little bit down on yourself right now, especially in this last week, maybe you went to Chinese New Year and you ate a little bit too much, don't get down on yourself. Start diffusing your bergamot, put it on and say to yourself, you know what? I can get back in the saddle and I'm ready to go. Okay, number 2. Being with you makes time stand still. Now, while I don't consider time one of the necessarily the 7 sexy oils, and I will get to those in a minute, don't worry. When you're with someone that you really love, time does tend to stand still. It's that idea that really almost the clock begins to move a little bit slower. You have time with that person, you can enjoy that person. Put away your phone and really just listen to that person in front of you. Enjoy the time that you have with him. We will not pass this way again, my friends. So please enjoy the time that you have with the people that you love. You put the pep in my step. So peppermint is a great way if you're not feeling peppy. And as you can see, I'm feeling super peppy this morning. Get yourself a little bit of peppermint. It's actually kind of funny. I keep peppermint beadlets in my car all the time, and as I drive, I usually take 1 or 2. They always drop on the floor. I'm always finding them as I'm cleaning my car, but I realize, wow, I go through a lot of these peppermint beadlets because about once a week or so, I'm kind of replacing the vial. Now, I often drive with people in my car, and I give them a couple of peppermint beadlets if they're feeling a little droopy, but peppermint, absolutely a great way to pick yourself up, whether it's your energy or your mood, even in a little diffuser, dab a bit behind your, at the back of your neck to just feel more cheerful and more upbeat. I'm wild about you. Now, we all know about wild orange and how it can be a terrific way to spark your love life, but really it's mostly about elevating your mood. So if we feel happier, we feel more lively, we're going to act that way around others. All of your citrus oils are mood elevators. So whether you like your wild orange or your bergamot, your lime, your lemon, your grapefruit, we have so many, your green mandarin, of course. We have so many citrus oils now in doTERRA. You should not be limited to just one. Our friendship is immortal. Now, one of the things about love is that it does not have to be just classified as a love between a married couple or between a boyfriend and girlfriend or between other partners. It can also be between friends. And the love that we have for our friends is actually very important. Many of you know that I'm very good friends with Carrie Donegan and with other people on this team. And those friendships have blossomed over the years, and I value them so much. And now for those of you who are listening listening on this call, you know who you are. You have really enlightened and bolstered my life in so many ways. When I've been down, you've helped me to come up. You've helped me to come up higher when I wasn't doing the work that I needed to do. And you've been beside me every step of this journey. So having a friendship that brings you that satisfaction and love and warmth to your heart and your being can also be a real treasure. Don't let it go. You bring balance to my life. That's another thing that we do for our friends and the people that we love. We balance them out. If you've ever had a chance to meet my husband, you know that he's super quiet, uber quiet. I don't know how else to describe him. He's a thinker and a ponderer, and he's very reflective. He's actually very reserved because of, I guess, the way he was brought up. And we balance each other because I tend to be a little bit more out there, sometimes a little too far out, even for him, but we balance each other. And that's what you want to look for when you look for your love relationships or your friendships. How does that person bring you up higher? And then, of course, let's be frank. You are pretty awesome. So frankincense, why for love? Because it's one of those oils that does just about everything. It helps improve your mood. It helps with your sleep. It can help you to feel happier. There are so many ways that frankincense, of course, when we think about frankincense, we always think about healing, healing, and healing. And obviously, if you're suffering from any sort of condition, if you are able to use frankincense and just feel better, you're going to be a better friend, and you're going to feel better about yourself, and you're going to be able to reach out more. Okay, last but not least, I do. So lavender is sort of that, I don't know, it's the Swiss Army knife, but it's also that beautiful floral scent that we associate with love. I'm going to talk about, as I said in a minute, a few more oils that we associate with love, but lavender really is that warm, fuzzy feeling, whether it's love for a parent, love for a child, love for a lover or a partner. I can't underestimate I can't underestimate to you how much, or overestimate to you how much the importance of the flower oils are in our being able to really feel good about ourselves and reach out in a wonderful way. So I'm going to show you two pictures. I don't always do this, but I thought I would do it today. So this lovely girl or young woman is my cousin, and I don't know if you can see the family resemblance, but she's here at her bridal shower, and I was so happy to be part of the shower on Saturday. We had to drive quite a bit, but she's marrying a young man. She lives in Washington, D.C., and she's marrying a man who's originally from Long Island, which is about a 5 or 6 hour drive. And his mother had a party for her over the weekend, and that's her wearing her bow hat. So what we do in the United States, if you've never heard this tradition, is we take all the bows from all the presents that the bride gets at her shower, and then we make them into a hat. And you can see mine. I actually made this hat for her, and it has a chin strap on it, so it'll stay on her head. And you don't cut the ribbons because you're basically tying together your community of love and the people that support you. So you wear all your ribbons on your head, and then someone takes a funny photograph of you. Her name is Cornelia, and she's getting married in May. And I'll give you one more photograph. This is me with my two cousins. So the bride on one side, and her sister, who's also my goddaughter, Antonia, on the other side of me. So I had a wonderful day, and I just had to bring that up to you because I'm going to have a wedding almost every year now. My other niece got married last year. I didn't show you any pictures of that, so I thought it seems to coincide beautifully. So congratulations to Cornelia, and wonderful to see Antonia, and I'm so proud of everybody. And for anybody out there who's getting married, congratulations. I am with you. Please post in the chat group. Okay, so essential oils for romance. Originally known as, this whole list was known as the 7 sexy oils, but as I said, I've had to do this presentation a couple of times for church groups, and so now I call them essential oils for romance. And I'm doing a presentation tonight, and I'm going to be repeating this live in South Jersey near Little Egg Harbor. I'm going to be in Little Egg Harbor tonight at the firehouse, and if you're interested in any of the details, please PM me right after this, this presentation. The other thing I want to remind you all is if you or your team members have gone through Oil Camp 1, Oil Camp 2 is starting today. So Oil Camp 2 is starting today. Don't panic. You can catch up if you don't jump in today, but if you need the links for that, Oil Camp 2 starting today. So let's talk about the 7 sexy oils. So let's go through these 3 real fast. So rose, this is a slam dunk, folks. Often called the essential oil of love. It helps the heart center to receive love and strength. Helps a person to love oneself and reduce feelings of fear and unworthiness. Rose stirs desire, enhances self-esteem and confidence. It lifts depressive states, remedies grief, detoxes and purifies the blood. It improves digestion, improves circulation, increases semen production. It improves uterine function and combats stress and nervous tension. And if you'd like to take a photograph of this slide, please feel free to do so. Ylang ylang relaxes and slows a racing heart, calms in times of stress, decreases blood pressure, and boosts mood. Ylang ylang works on the emotions. It's a well-known aphrodisiac as well as a support in times of bereavement. It doesn't matter the situation. Ylang ylang will provide what you need if you're experiencing emotional hyperarousal or upset. Prevents both tachycardia, rapid heartbeat, and hyperapnea, fast, shallow breathing. This soothes the emotions of anxiety, anger, worry, and fear, and gets you in the mood for some loving. Its calming effects are particularly favored for deeper and more profound physical experiences. So ladies and gentlemen, what I would probably do with either rose or ylang ylang, ladies, I would apply it to the pubic bone or the lower abdomen. I might also put it on my pulse points or my glands. Gentlemen, you can do the same thing. Be careful in the genital area. You don't want to put on too much because it may cause an uncomfortable situation if you were to put on too much. So just a dab over your reproductive organs, and you'll find that the feeling of increased blood flow and exactly what you're trying to achieve for your romance. So sandalwood is one of the oldest known perfume materials. It's been utilized for at least 4,000 years. Sandalwood is a potent tension reliever, relaxes muscles, and calms blood pressure. In India, it's often combined with rose in the famous scent attar. The smell alone is enough to relieve a day's worth of stress and tension. I also want you to keep in mind, as I'm reading this, is many times I read some of these slides because we have people who are on their car phones and they can't read at the same time that they're driving. So please forgive me for reading directly off the slide. I only have 2 slides that I'm going to be reading from. Okay. And here are your other 4. Neroli, also known as orange blossom, helps to uplift the mind, calm the senses. It's been used for centuries, a natural aphrodisiac in many countries. It instills confidence and dispels feelings of anger, soothing to the heart, and often used in cases of panic attacks. So anybody feeling nervous, perhaps about a first encounter with a friend, maybe a first date or a blind date, use your neroli. Jasmine has an amazing smell, aphrodisiac qualities, and provides a balancing effect on the nervous system. Jasmine works on an emotional level, helping to calm frayed nerves and remedy depression, nervous exhaustion, and stress-related conditions. It produces a feeling of optimism, confidence, and euphoria. It's most powerful in cases of apathy, indifference, or listlessness. Use it to get the passion flowing. And my 2 favorites, I have to tell you, are jasmine and ylang ylang. They may feel too heady or warm or florally for you ladies or gentlemen. Feel free to investigate each and every one of these oils and find the one that's right for you. That's why we have 7, because everybody has a different body chemistry. But use the ones that you like best. Geranium, fragrant oil that balances the emotions and gets the blood flowing. It has a balancing effect on hormones and increases circulation by enlarging capillaries. And finally, cinnamon. Now, this is the one oil that I'm going to encourage you not to apply physically, especially before lovemaking or any sort of any intense activity, because it will feel very warm. What I would perhaps encourage you to do, you can drink it in a drop or two in a glass of water. You can apply it to the soles of your feet, but be mindful that cinnamon can be very warm. Sure to bring some warmth and spice to the relationship. Feeling sluggish, use cinnamon if you're looking to add a stimulating quality to your sexual life. It's great for the skin, circulation, and nervous system as well. The only reason I would perhaps use cinnamon is if I used a single drop in a large quantity of fractionated coconut oil, or a large quantity, and I'm talking about, I'm trying to think how many milliliters, like maybe 100 plus milliliters of body lotion. So you'd basically be massaging the entire body with a single drop. But even then, I would be very careful to not have it touch any of the sensitive membranes of the body. Okay, so I have some love potions for you. And I know you have to read these quickly, but if you have your phone, feel free to take a photograph of them. So we have Cupid's Arrow, love potion number 9, Goddess of Love, and Spice It Up. And on the left-hand side, for those of you who are on a telephone, potion number 1, geranium, console, bergamot, and ylang-ylang, or passion, console, cheer, and frankincense. Love potion number 9, sandalwood, ylang-ylang, frankincense, and vetiver, or rose, jasmine, neroli, and blue tansy. Actually, I've made that one, and it is delicious. Goddess of Love, geranium, bergamot, and frankincense, or lime, bergamot, elevation, and frankincense. And I've made that one, the second one, Goddess of Love, also delicious. And then finally, Spice It Up, passion, cardamom, ginger, vetiver, or cheer, cassia, or litsea. For those of you living in Asia, you may have some litsea. Coriander, and sandalwood. So I love these love potions, and I'm sure some of you are saying, but what am I going to do with them? You can make them into perfume. You can make a room spray that you blend with a little bit of water. You can diffuse them in your diffuser, whatever feels right to you. And read the ingredients, folks, because I think that that's really the most important. If you don't love geranium, don't choose one with geranium. If you love rose, pick one with rose. It's what you like and you feel comfortable with, and you feel comfortable with your partner. That's the most important. Okay, remember, you are amazing. And I'm so happy that you were here today and that I was able to share this day with you. I'm going to be giving away a passion roll-on in about a minute. And I want to thank you for being here, and tell you to have a wonderful week. Oops. Hi, everyone. Okay, so we're going to pick our, I'm so happy. Everybody's back. What I want to do is, could you please, if you have any questions, because I talked about a lot of oils, please write in the chat, and I'm going to stop the recording for now.